Hi, welcome to the Celestial Circle podcast. I'm Love.
And I'm Tylin. We're two Los Angeles-based astrologers and healers.
Join us each month as we explore the upcoming transits to see how they will affect you, show up in the world, and in our own personal lives.
We hope that you will find guidance, understanding, and fun as you apply this wisdom to your own life.
And if you'd like us to give you personalized insight, please submit any questions you have on upcoming or current transits to thecelestialcirclepodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us on Instagram at thecelestialcirclepodcast.
The circle is now open. Thanks for listening.
What's up?
Hello. Welcome to the circle.
Yes, let's get into March.
Ooh, how are we feeling in eclipse season?
Yeah, so for context, we literally are filming this right after the Aquarius new moon eclipse in February. So
yeah,
it's fresh.
Yeah,
We're in it. It's raw.
We're still in the portal as we move into March.
Well, it's 18 months.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a minute before we're out of this. Not till next year, but
well, eclipse season specifically.
Oh yeah. Because March is more eclipse.
Yeah,
Virgo eclipse. Yeah, but this one is ending a cycle, not opening up a new one. Yeah. So that I guess is something to look forward to.
Heavy release too.
Yeah,
we'll get into it.
All right. So, do you want to do the questions at the?
I like our format of doing the astrology, then we do the questions, then we pull the tarot.
Okay. I want to do a little differently. I just wanted to show, like, up top what we're covering in March. This is what's all going on in March. If you just need, like, a too long didn't read, what are all the transits? And then we'll go into each of the transits.
Yes.
So, March 2nd to April 8th, Mars will move into Pisces. It's currently in Aquarius, where we're recording this. March 3rd, we'll have a full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo.
Got a lot to say on that.
March 6th to March 29, we have Venus in Aries. March 10 to May 12th, we have Vesta in Pisces. March 15 to May 27, we have Ceres in Taurus. March 18 is a new moon in Pisces, which ends the eclipse season, and then we'll have another one like later in the year. March 20th through April 18th, we have the sun in Aries season, which is also the astrology new year.
Yes. Spring equinox.
Yes, spring equinox.
Yep.
Easter, if you're nasty. March 20th for the regulars. March 20th, Mercury will go direct and end its retrograde in Pisces. March 28th, Saturn will sextile Pluto, which is a positive thing. March 29th through August 10th, Hera will be in Aquarius. What's up? March 30th through April 23rd, Venus will be in Taurus. So that's everything that we're going to be covering over probably 2 episodes. So yeah, let's dive into it.
Let's dive into it. So March, I was thinking about March as this month of integration because February, like we talked about, was just such an intense month of so many different shifts. So then March being this month where all of those shifts are starting to settle in our nervous system because we are feeling the change collectively. So therefore, for our nervous system, we've got to integrate. We've got to let it settle. So I was thinking about it being a month where those changes are catching up to the body and to the soul. And this whole topic around the Saturn and Neptune piece being in Aries, this identity restructuring moment.
Yes.
that is happening because it's like, who are we
Yeah.
in the face of all these changes?
Yes.
Because it is really a new era.
Well,
And
yeah,
we
it's a
kept
new
saying
cycle.
that.
It's a 0
Yeah.
degree. It's a big,
Yes.
like, Saturn is only like a couple years, but Neptune is a longer term
Yeah.
transit. So it's like we've all been existing in this for
Yeah.
a few, like, over 10 years. So now, like, we're
Yes.
existing in a completely new energy. I think, like, a lot of people, I saw a lot of astrologers online being like, it's going to be great. Like, it's totally going to, I think what the sentiment that they were trying to describe was just like, it's going to be good to have new energy, to have a different paradigm, a different energy. But like, Saturn in Aries is not the best energy. Like, it's not like Saturn's like, yeah, I love being in Aries. Yeah. And then Neptune either, right? Because Neptune is at home with Pisces energy. So this is like a rude awakening.
Yeah.
And I think that February was the space to like get used to it, to experience the shift, to start to be like, okay, how do I like calibrate in this new energy that I'm having in my life, right? Because now these planets have moved from one house to another house for you. So now you're like, okay, like how do I get used to these planets being in this house for the next, 10 plus years? What's coming up for me with this?
Yeah, Neptune 14, Saturn 3. And it is like okay, now the shift happens, so how can we settle it in our nervous system?
Yeah. Like, it was very jarring for me.
Yeah.
I will say, like, the last week of Neptune in Pisces, I just had really intense, like, dreams that were, like, very emotional and, like, healing and transformational, but just, like, hard. Yeah. Like, I was wrapping up my Saturn return. So I have Saturn in Pisces in my 4th house.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so I just had like a lot of dreams around like family, childhood stuff that was just like really intense. Yeah. And then literally the day that Neptune or that Saturn moved into Aries, I had a completely 180 dream with like the same family members that I've struggled with. And it just felt so, like, I literally felt the shift. Like, it felt so different. Yeah. But it is, like, in my work and in my life, I feel like I feel like the Aries, Aries energy is initiative. It's like, let's get it going. Let's do it. Let's take action. Let's step into it. Like, no time like the present. Let's take advantage of every second that we have. And so I feel like that energy as like a positive to work with, as opposed to like Pisces, which can feel like you're like swimming through water and you're like, oh my God, it's like hard to like get there.
Yeah. Going through illusions.
Yeah. Yeah. You're like, is this a mirage? Is this an oasis? Like, what is this? Yeah. But at the same time, my body is like, like, then what? I feel like I'm like, I feel this positive energy, but now I need to learn how to like work with it for myself. How do I integrate it into my life, into my chart? Or like, how do I calibrate to this different, like, it feels like it's like, go, 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 go. So before, the strategy was like, keep moving forward even when it's hard, when it's confusing, when you're not sure. And now it's like, I want to move forward, but it's like, oh, now I need to make sure that I'm like planning and I'm organizing before I take action on things.
Yeah, because Saturn cares about the structure and implementing that structure with aligned actions so that you do not burn out. That is the Aries energy. Yeah,
that was my favorite metaphor that Spirit showed me for Saturn in Aries. Is like Saturn is like the parent that's like trying to describe like a situation or some rules to like a child, and the Aries is the child that hears like the first 3 words and just like runs off and does it. Like the parents like, okay, we're gonna make cookies, so we need to get like some milk and some eggs, and we need to get our mixing bowl, and they're like, cookies, and they just like go and get the chocolate chips, and like I feel like that's, and Saturn's like, I'll wait for them. Yeah. I feel like Saturn's like, you're trying, and that's good, but you don't have all the ingredients. You needed to plan and get all the ingredients, So
it's not just taking action from a space of passion, which is inherently Aries energy. It's also utilizing that passion in a way that is structured. That's and mature. That's the Saturn reality.
So all the people who are now in their Saturn return, the main themes for Saturn and Aries is patience versus planning. And accountability, right, is a big one as well. Like, am I taking ownership of my choices and my actions, or am I afraid and I'm not doing it? Or am I stepping into my leadership role? Am I seeing where I can be an authoritarian figure in my life, especially whatever house you have it in? Or am I kind of just like doing it and not like owning it, not, you know, like fully stepping into the full leadership piece of it? Like, I'm like, no, I'm not that. Like, it's okay. You know, I feel like those are big themes for people in their Saturn return now, in Saturn and Aries. Somehow I feel older. I'm like, having gone through. I feel like I'm 5 still, but.
It is like a cosmic initiation period, though.
I have a friend who's like in her 40s and she's like pregnant, and she was like talking on her, she's an astrologer, and she was talking on her stories like, I want to talk to astrologers that aren't just going through their first Saturn return. Like, a lot of astrologers are like just going through their first Saturn return, and they've only experienced these transits one time. They haven't experienced them like multiple times and seen like the themes of it. And I was like, damn, that's true. Like, so sometimes I feel like, who the fuck am I? I'm barely going through my Saturn return. But, you know, it's all in good fun. Because, you know, we're connecting to spirit, so that's like millions of lifetimes.
Millions of lifetimes. Ancient souls over here. Hello.
Yeah.
Saturn on my ascendant.
Yeah. You're like, it's my everyday. I live this all the time. My favorite meme about my Saturn placement was like, therapist, tell me about your childhood. Person with Saturn in the 4th house. No. I was like, this is accurate.
Yeah.
You don't want to know. Just imagine something horrible, and it's that.
Saturn, Mars, and Pluto in the 4th house.
How y'all doing?
Yeah,
the strong ones, the scapegoats of the family, the rule breakers, right? Yeah. Okay, so you're saying that March is
integration,
an integration period.
Yeah, because I totally feel the shift too. Because think about it, like, I had Neptune in my 1st house since I was in high school. Like,
like that's a big shift.
Yeah, like, I went through so many periods of the confusion of not knowing who I was, my identity. And then when Saturn moved through my 1st house, it was like, take responsibility for your essence, being a spiritual leader. Saturn on my ascendant, being someone who holds these sacred containers to enter these mystical realms. And I feel like with both of them coming out of my 1st house, it's just been this reclamation of, look at who I am and what I've built in the world and where I'm going. And now with them in my 2nd house, it's like, organize your finances, make it happen, build it in this. The
stand for your morals and your values. Take accountability.
Yeah, because
be the leader of that.
My values are not separate from who I am in the world. So I definitely, I've felt that shift. Yeah. And now it's like integrating it. And that's what I'm saying. We're all doing that, because wherever Saturn and Neptune were, I mean, Neptune was a way longer transit, but both of those planets, I mean, Saturn was 3 years there, right? That's also still a very long time that you had Saturn transiting through that area of life. And Neptune even longer.
Well, I feel like Neptune is kind of like this like nebulous like mesh or net. So it's like sometimes you're aware of it, sometimes you're not. But I feel like with Saturn, it's like really like present.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. And Saturn transiting through your 1st house,
it's you. That. Every part. It's like, so it's going to change. You will change. Every part of you will change.
Yeah. And you'll take yourself more seriously. You'll take yourself to like the goals and the dreams and the visions that you have. Saturn's like, okay, set the structure, be responsible for it, be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Commit to it.
Yeah. Like for me, it's like Neptune was in my 4th house for all those years. So it's like I was focusing on reconciling like my family like wounds and dynamics and like building my own home. Like my parents moved away from where I was born, and then I graduated from college and I had to like make my like figure out where I was living. I had no home. So like that like I've been building that, right? And like with my partner, like I met my partner during that time. So we were like, how are we building our home? What are we doing? Like, you know, like
You're gonna love what I wrote for the Sag rising new moon in Pisces that we have at the end of this month then.
Okay.
That just makes my heart so happy.
Yeah, and I feel like I'm like
Yeah.
sitting here still reflecting, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like a big part of the Saturn in return was like reconciling those like stubborn pieces around, can I accept my partner, can I accept my home, you know, like where I am and all these pieces. And now it's like in my 5th house. So it's like now that I've gotten all that and I feel like I have foundation, now I'm like, what am I doing with my life? My passion, my desires, am I taking action to like actually get there? And my creativity, I feel that already. Like I felt like this year I would be like creating more stuff. I used to make like witchy products and sell them in multiple stores in Los Angeles. And now I'm feeling, and that was like a whole journey. And so I was like, fuck that. And now I'm like, you know, maybe I think I want to make stuff again. Not in the same way, but I feel this like creative, like one of my goals was I used to have a crochet business. I'm all over the place. And one of my goals this year was like to crochet clothes for myself, because I bought all these crochet patterns and never made the clothes for myself. So it's like that. It's like be that, embody that, you know, type of thing.
A fun transit, especially for Neptune moving through your 5th house.
Yeah, I think like that's a fun like pairing.
Yeah.
Creativity and Neptunian energy, I feel can be really fun. I mean, the Aries is like I guess it will help to be like, but what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Yeah.
Though, like that Neptune gives you that quality of romanticizing, and then the Aries is like you're romanticizing the actions that you're taking towards those passions.
Yeah, that's why I feel like Saturn will help, because it's like, okay, like let's be practical. Like, are we just doing this because it seems cool, or are we doing this because like it will actually like be important?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are still struggling, you're like, everybody was like, I'm gonna feel great, there's gonna be a new cycle, like what the fuck, like it's okay.
Yeah, this is a time to let it settle.
Yeah, whatever came up, March is addressing, like, okay, how do I want to keep it, do I want to integrate it, do I want to release it, do I want to change it? Like that's this time.
Yes. Cool. So let's move into March. What's coming through? So March 2nd through April 8th, we have Mars moving into Pisces.
Yes.
This is an interesting space for Mars to be in as the warrior god. But when I was meditating with this frequency, it's like Mars in Pisces is then the intuitive warrior. So the warrior...
I don't know why, but we need to go this way. I don't know why, but this is what we should do.
Deeply trusting the intuition.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting that I've learned about the water signs. So Cancer and Scorpio, the crab and the Scorpio, they both have a defense mechanism, right? Cancer has the claws, the crab claws. Scorpio has the stinger, which is deathly. And what armor does Pisces have?
They just drown
Fucking
you.
Nothing.
They're a fish. Fish can bite. It depends on what fish it is. If it's a koi fish, sure. But if it's like a piranha.
Okay, look at the symbol for Pisces.
It's like koi fish.
What armor, what defense
is
there?
Well, I think that is sort of the beauty of like interdisciplinary energy, where it's like something that is like war, action orientated, mixing with something that traditionally isn't. Like what comes out of that can be really cool.
Yeah, because it's truly a warrior without the armor.
Yeah.
A warrior.
It's like Luke Skywalker being blindfolded by Yoda as he's training, and he has to know when that little robot is shooting the pieces at him just by using his intuition, just by tapping into the Force.
This is exactly why the defense mechanism for Pisces is to escape, is to fantasize, is to go into a dream world because of that. Yeah. With no armor, no defense mechanism.
Yeah.
That's the survival strategy. So when we're thinking about Mars, this god of war and action, it's a warrior that is then moving through the world in complete surrender.
Yeah.
And complete
I don't know
trust.
if you've seen The Umbrella Academy, but what Spirit is sharing.
That's a good show.
Klaus, he's like Pisces Mars.
Oh my gosh. Klaus is literally like Josh and I if we were a person. We talked about this. Like literally.
No,
if we
I'm number 5.
As a character, Josh and I would be Klaus.
Yeah, so like if you haven't seen The Umbrella Academy, like all of the siblings have superhero abilities, but Klaus's is like he can talk to the dead, and he like compared to the other abilities that are like strength or like being able to control people and make them do what you want, or like jumping in and out, like being able to travel, what is it called that he does, teleporting, thank you. Like Klaus always felt like inadequate because he's like, I don't have like an attack strategy, like I could just like connect with the other side, like that's dumb. And so, but at the end he realizes how to harness that ability to bring about like some kind of attack strategy. But most of the time it's so painful for him to be connected to everything that he just self-medicates, he drinks, he does drugs, escapism, he literally creates a cult. Like that's Pisces energy as well. The delusional, the escapism. He is Pisces Mars. I'm living for this. So if you've seen Umbrella Academy, hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes 100% sense. So Mars and Pisces, it brings up themes around emotional courage, spiritual activism, artistic discipline, compassion in action.
Yes.
And because Pisces dissolves, there's this sort of dissolving the anger patterns through the unconditional oceanic love that Pisces then brings.
A lot of what I've been feeling with Pisces season is like, in the context of what's going on in the world, this idea of connectedness. We need connectedness right now. While you might be like, damn, Pisces Mars sounds horrible. We need to remember that our action is not contained in a vacuum. Our action affects and has ripple effects, butterfly effects with the world around us. And so if we move from a place of remembering like every action I make can have, what is it, the science thing, every action has an equal or opposing reaction.
It has a consequence.
Yes. If I remember that and then I choose to take action in a way that like I can take ownership. I'm cool if you blame this on me because I know I did it to the best of my abilities. I know I did it with compassion, with integrity, with connection in mind. Then you're fine. You know, like I think collectively we're being reminded, well, hey, we're all in this together. Like we don't succeed without everybody. So I think this Mars and Pisces, I'm seeing a lot of art.
Yes.
A lot of creation, a lot of collective processing through art.
Yeah, but the Martian, like what it means to take action and be disciplined in the creation of that art.
Yeah.
And how art in and of itself can be a protest. That's the warrior energy that Mars brings.
Right. Like Banksy, how he does like the you don't know when or where or who or how, but now he has this graffiti that's an act of rebellion against whatever system.
Yes.
Like it's kind of that vibe where we're depicting visuals of things that we're dreaming about, things that we want.
Yes. And historically, Mars and Pisces, it can coincide with peace movements, so taking the action to bring in that peace, what you were just sharing, that interconnectedness that Pisces represents. It can also be spiritual protest. It can be the vibe of an artistic revolution. And again, Pisces dissolves. It has this dissolving quality to it, so it can be dissolving the anger, dissolving conflicts, and I would love for it to bring through the ability to take action and feel in our physical body the realms of empathy. Because Pisces is so compassionate. Pisces is unconditional love. And what would that mean if collectively we feel that in our bodies, and that is how we move through the world from that space.
And then the like lower octave of this that Spirit's showing me, they're showing like a crying baby. It's like the victim mentality. Oof. Like, why me? Why does this always happen to me? I'm not getting my needs met. I'm not getting what I want. Maybe I thought about taking action and it didn't immediately come, and now I'm like convincing myself something negative or it won't happen. Like, I'm seeing like this need to release or just being aware that we might be going some of these might not be like fun art, you know, like it might be like, oh, people are like not wanting to take accountability for their actions. People are like doubling down on like this Delulu ideologies and just taking actions on their Delulu, you know, like that's also something. If people are not removing themselves from this like escapism, fantasy, victimhood, then like we're still gonna get like that extra, like, because there's Mars is taking action, we're gonna see it more in our face. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, so they're like doubling down, like they're being petty, they're just ghosting me, they're not answering, they're painting a different picture than what I'm seeing, you know.
100%. I can totally see that being something that occurs, especially in the midst of
what's going Pisces on in the midst of our political leaders.
It's like using that illusion for their benefit, taking advantage of that.
Which is exactly what Easter is, right? Like,
and that's also what you're bringing up with Klaus and the cult vibes. It's like they're utilizing this belief system and fusing it with the spiritual principles that gets people on board with it. Which is all based on a lie.
They're painting you a really, really alluring delusion, a really alluring fantasy. And they're asking you to accept it as true, to blindly accept it as truth, despite all of the red flags.
Because Mars and Pisces is an invitation to trust your intuition again. It's like really being anchored in your vessel and your physicality and your body as a source of intuition.
Don't like yes and yourself and be like, well, that feels great if I ignore this thing and that, then my fantasy will come true. But it's like, well, let's look at the reality. Is that what's actually happening? Is that what you're actually feeling and seeing? If you're like actually trusting your intuition and not what you want to happen, but what you feel is the truth, and acting from that place.
100%. Last thing I'll say on Mars and Pisces is that it is truly an opportunity for us to fight, use that warrior consciousness with compassion.
Which means we have to fight for those who can't fight for themselves. People who are experiencing genocide, deportation, concentration camps, racism, fascism, all the things, isms, right? Sexual assault survivors. Like, I'm not saying all these people can't fight for themselves, but it's about having the compassion to fight for them as well. 100%.
Okay, now we're going to move into this lunar eclipse.
Okay.
There's a lot here. So make sure you're sitting in the circle. Get your tea. So on March 3rd, we have a full moon lunar eclipse at 12 degrees of Virgo, which means that it is happening in the second decan of Virgo, a decan ruled by Venus and related to the 9 of Pentacles in the tarot, which is such an interesting decan because, you know, Venus, she exalts in the sign of Pisces, which we're currently in right now. I'm loving it as a Pisces rising. Yes, Venus in my first house. But it's so interesting because she exalts in, the sign of oceanic love. And then she's in fall in Virgo, which is like a single drop of the ocean water in a microscope. But yet she rules over this second decan of Virgo. So it's really interesting. I was thinking about this eclipse being a purification portal.
And this one is tied to the ones that we had in 2024. And so this is ending that 18-month cycle. Because we had an eclipse in Virgo in 2025 and in 2024 that were all kind of part of this same weaving, this same, I believe it was March 2024. And then I think also around that time in 2025.
Yeah.
And then now we're kind of March again, right? So we're now kind of wrapping this all up.
Yeah, it's ultimately a huge portal of release. So it's interesting you're tying that into a bigger cycle, because when I was feeling into this eclipse, it just felt so exhausting. Like that being the big theme of it, like this major exhausting purification energy, and bringing up, themes around health revelations, like ritual restructurings, somatic awakening, and somatic themes, again, with the body and health. It feels like there might be things coming up with the Virgoan themes around healthcare. So things in the medical field, public health organizations, and just
which are non-existent in America right now. Do you mean the CDC?
Well, that's what I mean with eclipse season, right? Because things shift. Eclipses are intense. So,
and this is a lunar eclipse.
Yes.
Which
and on the south node too, which is
we're releasing, right? So the south node is the past, where we've been, where we feel comfortable, where we've cultivated over many lifetimes. And right now, the collective, like north and south node, is in north is Pisces, south is Virgo. So having this eclipse, which a lunar eclipse, it's like the Aquarius one was a solar eclipse. So the solar eclipse is like the absence of the sun, and this one's the opposite. It's like the absence of the moon. The moon is being eclipsed. So it's like the inner peace. Like we're seeing what happens if we're not dealing with it inner, or if like we don't have those inner comforts, those inner pieces that we've been relying on for a lot of time, or using, or not even questioning, and just going and going. And now we're like being asked to kind of like, wait, what? Like, what's going on here? How do we reconcile this? How do we let go of this?
Yes, 100%. That internal psyche piece, I was thinking about the release being around shedding an identity built on that Virgoan hyper responsibility. So the Virgoan, like, I've got to get it perfect. I've got to get it
I'll
right.
do it on my own. Nobody else is going to do it as good as me.
Yep. Like Virgo being a sign that relates its sense of value to being resourceful, to being useful. So this eclipse is really asking the collective then, well, who are you in the sense of your survival mechanisms, and what are you ready to release and shed and let go of, because you don't need to hold on to that version of self that feels like I need to get it right, or I need to do this in order to be useful.
If it doesn't look this way, it's done. It's ruined.
Yes.
The perfectionism, the single linear mindedness. I keep seeing this visual from spirit of feeling like we're stretched thin. Like I'm seeing like skin that's like pulled and like translucent.
Overworked.
Yes.
That was something that was coming through.
I feel like collectively the Virgo energy has been co-opted by capitalism, right? Like capitalism loves the Virgo, right? Like they always say, like, if you have like major Virgo placements, you're your employer's favorite person, because you will do the work until it is perfect. You will sacrifice yourself so that you can have this output that feels productive, that feels correct, that feels just exactly as it, like the highest quality of the 5-star experience is Virgo, right? And I feel like they've put also like the health, piece. There's a lot of pressure on like health practitioners during this time. Like I feel like we're collectively, I just feel like Virgo energy is just like, I can't keep pushing forward. Like I can't just keep sacrificing, and I can't keep just doing it just for the goal, for the output. I need to like address like where it feels raw or wrong, is what they're saying, like on the inside.
Yes. Yeah, because it really is like you can't keep pushing forward and overworking oneself just to be perfect or just to be productive or have these outcomes.
Yeah. It becomes like a carrot in the stick. Like then you never give yourself that break. You never feel like you've done enough. You never feel like it's ready, it's good enough, and you never put it out there.
Yes.
So I feel like that's kind of what we're releasing, is like, I feel like a lot of people are wanting, you know, our society, our culture, cancel culture, we have all these things, you know, so it's like a lot of people are scared to take action because they don't want to take the wrong action, do the wrong thing, not have the intended outcome. Like, I feel like a lot of people are hiding, like, the comfortability piece of the South Node. We're hiding in that, like, perfectionism, and it's not ready, and we need to do more and more and more and more and more. And it's like, enough is enough. Like, we have to kind of, we can't, I see it as like they're showing like we're trying to like change the way a rose bush is growing by pruning it over and over and over and over again. But the nature of the rose bush is not to grow in that way. So it's like, are you going to keep trying to like prune and shift and force this plant to grow in a way that it's not inherently supposed to grow? You know, like, it feels like that. It's like, when are we going to release that belief that we can just, oh, and then it will be, oh, and then, oh, but if we do that, oh, but if we do that. I feel like that's what a lot of people are trying to do with our government. They're like, oh, we just need to have new elections. We just need to, like, it's like, no, honey, the system is broken.
Yeah.
Like, doing this little tiny course corrections isn't really working.
Yeah. So we're shedding it.
Yeah.
We're releasing it with this Virgo eclipse.
Yeah.
And speaking of the rose bush, I love this
Venus.
Really, pairs so beautifully with the Venusian ruled Nine of Pentacles card that is related to this eclipse. So this card is interesting because it brings in
I forgot quality. To get my tarot. I'm gonna, so I can show y'all again the Nine of Pentacles. Keep talking.
Yes. And so we can do our tarot pull.
Yeah.
So yeah, this card brings in independence, refinement, this love of simplicity, and cultivated beauty. So this card is really a frequency around, I have made a life for myself and I enjoy it, even the quiet, the simple, the mundane moments. But the shadow of the Nine of Pentacles can bring in isolation disguised as this mastery quality. So historically, this archetype appears when societies reward that solitary success of what you were just saying earlier of I did it on my own, and moral discipline, individual refinement over the collective care of the rest and the pleasure and the safety that we all deserve, not because you earn it, but because you are inherently worthy of that. So this eclipse and the collective psyche is dissolving the fantasy that self-sufficiency is freedom. And it is revealing how independence, this is the kicker, how independence has become a trauma response.
Yes, I feel that. That's the visual
Adaptation in a response to these unreliable systems.
Yeah, because it's like now if we are like hyper independent, then we're just like, okay, well, if I'm not happy, then there's something wrong with me. And then I'm just going to be like suffering over here by myself.
Yeah.
When if I just look over at my neighbor, they're also going through the same suffering that you are. And like, wouldn't that be nice to have some relief to be like, oh my God, me too. You're going through this, and you can compare notes and not try and struggle through it on your own.
Yes. Okay.
Here's the Nine of Pentacles.
See, so, she's out there in the garden. That's why I said the rose bush is perfect.
Yeah. It's, you know, Suit of Pentacles is earth. It's slow moving. It's material, items, possessions, earthly pieces. It's very earthly, this experience right now, this eclipse. And like the 9 is 1 away from 10. It's 1 away from abundance, from the financial freedom, whatever it is that you're building physically. So it's like, it's a really juicy moment to reflect on, to be like, maybe I have enough. Maybe I have done these things, and maybe it's just I need to shift my belief, my emotional perspective, and how I'm relating to these things. Maybe it's not that I need to keep working and working and working and working to have more. You know, that's capitalism. Oh, you have 1 vineyard? Why not 5? Why not 10 vineyards? But it's like, I have 1 vineyard and I refine that vineyard and I make the best fucking wine in the world. I don't need 10 vineyards.
Yeah.
I need a system that supports me and that does well and that allows everybody else to do well. I don't need to be the most.
And also, like, you're not alone in maintaining and care tending to that vineyard, because when I was meditating with this eclipse, it felt like it was really clearing away this feeling of the isolation piece that is the shadow of the Nine of Pentacles of I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
Because tuning into Venusian energy, especially like Venus and Pisces energy, you know, she's tired of feeling like, oh, the luxury, the wealth is just for a select few.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And
so
also,
like, her nature is to share. That's why she exalts in the sign of Pisces.
And that's what I was going to say. The juxtaposition, the Pisces, the way that the sister signs balance each other out. The Virgo energy is like, if I do it myself, let's say I build my vineyard myself. When I die, my vineyard goes away. Like, nobody is there to take over my vineyard because I did it all myself. I have all the secrets. I have all the tricks of the trade. I spent my entire life. And when I get sick and I can't be out there in the vineyard watering the grapes and doing whatever the fuck it is that you do when you own a vineyard, like, I'm toast. My legacy becomes for naught. It was just a struggle for me to see if I could do it. But with Pisces says we're all connected. We need to do this together. If I build a vineyard and I invite in other people to help me build that vineyard, the recipe doesn't die with me. The magic doesn't die with me. There are people that can take it over and continue building this legacy throughout generations, because it's not me. It's I'm here to create this and to set up this beautiful framework, but I'm enjoying with other people. I'm sharing with other people. I'm interacting with other people.
Yeah, exactly. Because that is the Venusian desire, to share, to pass it on. Because everyone deserves the Virgoan themes of the optimal health, the experience of the lovely things that this life has to offer. So really, this eclipse is shedding the pain of disconnection, the wounding of feeling out of alignment with our habits, rituals, and with our own unique path of service. Yeah. And we've talked about this, like, so many souls feeling disconnected from that true sense of service.
That's why I think, like, I wrote this in my Substack for the Aquarius eclipse that we just had in February. Yeah. These past few months, a lot of the moon phases, like from like last few months of 2025 into now, were like 28 degrees. And I feel like these pieces are slowly being lifted, slowly being culminated, slowly getting to that point. And when you're like, we talk about this. Yeah. I feel like it's because it's like, this is not a one and done story. This is a continued themes. We have to look at it from this sign, from this other zodiac sign, from this lens, from this, like, we have to keep analyzing and addressing that. How did we get here? And it's not just one piece. It's many multi-layers that we're going to have to lift off and peel and see and address. And maybe you don't, interact with all of them because you've undone some of them. Great. But everyone is at their own little journey in their own little place. Yes. The other thing I want to say, Virgo rules the tummy, rules the digestive system, right? So y'all might be having some tummy issues, some nausea, some like weird poops or something. And a lot of that is like, a lot of the anxiety is held in the stomach, and anger is held in the stomach as well.
In the liver too.
Yeah. And so like, you might have anger around this. You might have a lot of anxiety or not feel grounded through this. You might be like not really hungry or really delicate. So try and eat some things that might be good for your digestive system during this time. Be a little more mindful of what you're inputting into your body. Yeah. Like, is it gonna upset your tummy? And there's inflammatory foods and things like that. Not saying you need to like change your whole diet or anything, but just kind of be more present, because it's a pentacles. It's very earthly. It's very here. So just be a little bit more mindful of your body. And like, am I just waking up and drinking coffee and then being anxious all day? And then like, I'm not grounded, and maybe I need to fuel my body with something that will help me be grounded. How am I contributing to this like hamster wheel type process as well? Because I feel like as a person with ADHD who hasn't eaten anything and has only drank coffee right now as we're recording. I'm roasting myself. I'm okay roasting myself. Like with the ADHD, it's like that tendency, oh, I just got to get the work, got to do the work. Like you need to feed the body. You need to take care of the body.
Oh my gosh. This past year, I used to do that too. And I realized I need to eat something before I even have a sip of caffeine. Like I need to ground my body.
Yeah.
Before I even drink caffeine. And that has been
it's very game changer. I do it sometimes. I usually do eat. I just forgot today.
Yeah.
Oh, ADHD. But I put oat milk in my coffee so then I don't get like the weird tummy feeling because it's high enough fat that it gives me something to chew on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so be careful with your stomach. Yes. Be careful with your anger, your anxiety. You know, your they say in energy healing, if we have digestion issues, it's because we don't want to digest the reality that we're seeing, right? So think about that. Where don't I want to digest this reality? What is creating this upset in my stomach?
Clockwise circles on the abdomen can be really supportive. And
like peppermint, right?
Peppermint, castor oil.
There you go.
A little bit of that. Clockwise circles. Never counterclockwise. You will be constipated. But clockwise, you'll be good. So, yeah. Let's talk about the aspects now for this eclipse. So, in opposition, so across the sky and Pisces, we have a whole stellium, which is, it's a lot. So, we have obviously the sun, the North Node, Mercury retrograde, who, by the way, is the ruler of this eclipse, being that it's a Virgo.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because, the sun and the North Node are like what is orienting us towards the future. Mercury retrograde, the ruler of this eclipse, is reviewing the collective narratives. We also have Nessus here, who represents cycles of abuse and accountability. And Athena here in Pisces, who is offering strategic intelligence and the pattern recognition.
Wow, that's a lot.
And also in Pisces, they're not touching this lunation, but also in Pisces, we have Mars, Venus, and Persephone. Wow. All in Pisces.
A lot of Pisces energy here.
Lots going on. And then Mercury retrograde in Pisces, the ruler of this eclipse. It's so interesting. I was thinking about with the shedding process that this eclipse is bringing, that with Mercury ruling over the mind and being in fall in Pisces and retrograde, this frequency of the mind dissolving its own lies, dissolving its own illusions. So collectively, we are facing stories that perhaps we told ourselves to stay functional.
Yes.
But they are no longer holding up. Like what we were just talking about, like the work.
Yeah.
Or like hiding, perfecting. All of that is being...
I think like if you're a female body person, like the Epstein files, you're realizing, holy shit, like our whole lives we've been force fed this narrative to look prepubescent, to look like a little girl, to be pliable to men in the most disturbing way. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Okay. Spirit is speaking. Wow. What the fuck? Okay. Let me plug this in.
Wow.
That was crazy. Well, for those who are just listening, the light just
they know we're talking about them because
that's true. They do be attacking these motherfuckers.
Yeah. Dark magic.
Yeah.
But we're fucking so strong. We're powerful witches, so we're gonna share this message.
Yeah. After these,
because it's true.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. I think it was the middle one. That one. Okay. Yeah. So like that might be the lies that we tell ourselves, right? Like we might be like, hey, I should be this way. That's not enough. Oh, you should try. Whether or not we were conscious of it or not, I'm not saying it's your fault at all. It's shoved down our throat in every little piece, nook and cranny of everything, right? even down to like the fucking Carl's Jr. commercials when I was growing up with like fucking some hot chick on a car, like eating a fucking sandwich, like 1,000-calorie sandwich, looking skinny as shit. Like, there's so many parts of our existence in the patriarchy that are bullshit and ridiculous and jumping through hoops and impossible standards. Like, they market to you that cellulite is like a failing of you, that you're fat and that's why you have cellulite. When actually, if you do the research, which by the way, I have done the research, and it's really, really fucking difficult to find the scientific journals that have actually done studies on this through Google. Like, I had to go through like Google Scholar, like, to figure this out. So they've done studies, and it's literally just that female bodies, the way that their muscle structure and the way that they store fat is different than men. So they are more likely to get cellulite than men. It's not that you're fat and that you shouldn't have cellulite and you need to buy that stupid like skin rub thing that makes your cellulite go away. It's literally just how your body on a cellular level functions differently than others. You need to store more fat in your body because you need to protect your organs, your reproductive organs. You're supposed to have a layer of fat on your stomach so that you can protect your uterus. Like, it's not supposed to be flat. It's just not, you know, like, we're born with hair so that we can regulate our body temperature, and so that we can not be as cold, and so that we can, you know, like, our pubic hair and our armpit hair is to trap our pheromones so that our partners can have that chemistry. Oh, I'm just attracted to them. It's the smell of your pheromones. And then we shave it. We're being told to shave it so we can look like a child, or to put a bunch of perfumes and deodorants over it. It's just like weird stuff like that that we've always been told, you know, and the list, I could literally write like an encyclopedia of the rules that men make female bodies jump through. So I feel like it's like those types of topics and things where it's like, maybe it's not like, oh, well, I'm lying to myself and I'm ridiculous, but maybe it's like, okay, I was fed this lie my whole life, and like
it's dissolving.
It maybe it just needs to, like, I stopped shaving
because all of those things, like, they promote a system where people do not trust their own intuition because they're being fed this thing as normalized.
You feel like from the get that your body is bad.
Yep.
And it's like, no, like, you should feel like your body is in relationship with you and you can listen to that intuition.
Yes. Yeah. So that is what this eclipse is bringing up. Like, Mercury retrograde in Pisces is asking the collective to trust your intuition, because it's wild, these lies that are being fed and the brainwashing that is happening. Yeah.
Like, and again, it's not your fault. Like, I get it, you know, like, if you were raised in this, you were told this every single day, like, that's going to be a lot to reconcile with.
Yeah. And speaking of all of that, Nessus here, I was meditating with Nessus, bringing the end, the release, the shedding to cycles that justify harm, to cycles of abuse, because that is what Nessus represents. So opposite the Virgo moon, there's this exposing of the exploitation, the abuse that is like justified as duty and care, and a release of the moral superiority and systems that benefit from all of us over functioning, over producing.
Jinx is like, let me see what you got there.
The psyche is like, I'm no longer willing to accept this justification because it was never justified in the first place.
Yeah, it was just something you had to tell your brain, just accept this. And then the more you teach your brain to just accept those things, the harder it is to listen to the intuition, to like be in tune with reality and to make changes in reality. Yeah. Your brain is like, oh, I can just accept that. I can just keep making more exceptions to reality. Yep.
And Athena is going to be really supportive for that exact thing because she's offering the strategy and especially strategic compassion. So I was thinking about how Athena in Pisces, it's not like the warrior with the sword, right, and the shield. It's more so the warrior that is dissolving the illusions. So she's helping the collective see the pattern and heal through our connection to our intuition, to spirituality, to creativity.
It's more about Athena in Pisces is like the woman that organizes a class that teaches you how to defend yourself, that teaches you how to empower yourself.
Yep. And we need that right now. We need that strategy. This lunation is also in a sextile to Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So I was thinking about this opening the ancestral memory, the emotional lineage,
It's magnetic,
the forgotten ways of belonging, and like the deeper energy around nourishment.
That gave me chills, the forgotten ways of belonging.
Yeah. And because of what we were just talking about with the Nine of Pentacles and the shadow of the isolation of I'll just do it myself, right?
It's like in a society where like we don't have to do that ever.
Exactly.
Imagine that. Like, you just don't have to. There's someone that can handle that in your community.
Yeah. Exactly. I wrote, like, historically, this is exactly why Jupiter exalts in Cancer, because it speaks to the pre-capitalistic values of communal care, of having spaces where we share and where we are emotionally taking care of one another.
Like village kind of vibes. Yes. Like humans, it's funny because like Jupiter exalts in this, but I have a bone to pick with Pluto and Sag, because I feel like that's like where the internet took off, and that's where like everyone was just like, and we don't need these systems anymore. You know, like there used to be more physical spaces and places to like plug in, and then with the internet, I feel like humans have not actually done the deep thinking of realizing how harmful it would be to get rid of all of these systems, these physical systems, and these old ways of living, because it's only like 20 years ago that this happened. So it's so new for humans to exist this way, in this isolation, in this disconnectedness that's like masquerading as like ultimate connection. It's like, yeah, sure, I could email someone in China, but like, what does that have to do with anything, you know? Like, just because I can talk to someone in China doesn't mean like my community is getting better. I do feel like we're seeing this in this time, like this trend of like, I know the trad wife, but it's like making things, being in person. Like I've been seeing more like thrifting. They even predicted in 2026 thrifting sales would be higher than new clothing sales. And like we're seeing like come and do like a mending workshop, like where it's like you can come get your clothes mended for free because you don't know how. Like those types of things used to exist way more, and now that we have internet, it's like, oh, we don't fucking need that shit. So yeah, definitely a little bone to pick with Jupiter, because Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. But yeah, I agree. It's like, think about the old ways. Like in a village, there was like 6 people that could watch your child that you trusted, and like there's a person that cooks, and there's a person that makes like medicine, and there's a, you know, like,
well, literally our body, our nervous system is wired for that connection.
Yeah.
Like that is primal on a DNA cellular level.
Yeah.
For that belonging and that connection, and that the safety that comes from that deep level of belonging.
Yeah. I'm probably going to write a Substack on this. I can't remember if we talked about this or not, but I was thinking about how like that's, everyone wants that small town kind of feel, because that's what we're yearning for, is like that close-knit community. And like before the advent of the internet, it wasn't that we all needed to be the best at everything and the branding master of everything. Like if you went to a town, there would be the same businesses in that town as in the other town. And they didn't need to be flashy and amazing. It would be like, we live, you know, it's like we're, the example I was using was in Gilmore Girls, right? Yeah. The town is called Stars Hollow. There's like the Stars Hollow, like bookstore, the Stars Hollow grocery store, the Stars Hollow tax person. Like it's, you didn't have to be, you just like, I have this service that everybody needs, I'm doing the service. And if you go one town over, it's like, it's that town's tax person, that town, you know, like you didn't have to be like, I'm the best tax person in the world and I have crazy cool branding. It was just like, here's a service that everybody needs, and I'm just providing that service in this locale, you know? So I feel like with the internet stuff, it's like we've forgotten that kind of like importance of, that's why I feel like so many millennials are like nostalgic for the 90s, because like we had more of that.
Yeah.
there was still like remnants of that and like a sense of that. And then like as the 2000s, it's like all these small businesses have closed down because you don't, with a corporate company that has a lot of purchasing power, like H&R Block can do your taxes. You don't need the local tax guy in your town and in that town and in that town. So now it's all just like bullshit places.
Yeah, which removes that feeling of belonging, because when we think about it from that perspective, well, then everyone in the community has a role that they're playing.
Exactly.
Has something that they're doing to give back to the community.
And you don't feel lonely because you're needed, you're useful, you're helping, you're connecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel Jupiter and Cancer, this transit is really wanting to bring that forth. And it really does feel like it's this like cellular memory activation of this is not how it is. We're in our little apartments and
we don't talk to our neighbors.
Everything to like pay our rent on our own. And and we think about indigenous beliefs, it's like they don't feel like, oh, we own the land. It's like we all share the land. We share this.
We have to steward it. We take care of it so that it can continue to feed us and we can feed it. Like I saw this post that was like Gen Z and like, you know, newer generations, they don't realize that like back in the day when you had a roommate, it was because like you chose to do it. It's because you're like closeted gay or like you wanted to live with your friend. Now it's like you have to have a roommate because like all these things are unaffordable and unattainable. So it's like it used to be a choice to gather in community and to have all these like amazing experiences. And now it's a necessity to like, because you can't make it on your own. It's like we're all being told, make it on your own, make it on your own, make it on your own. And then we can't even make it on our own. Like that's the part that needs to die is like, wait, they're telling me, make it on your own, focus all your energy on making it on your own, hustle, American dream. But then they're also, the fine print is saying, but we're gonna make it super, super extra hard mode and really unattainable and nearly virtually impossible. And so you're gonna think that you're the one that's not making it on your own because you didn't succeed at this when all the odds are stacked against you.
Yeah. It's not sustainable ultimately. So Black Moon Lilith in Sagittarius is forming a square to this lunation.
She was a big player in the Eclipse one, in the Aquarius one too.
Yeah. So she is exposing the moral hypocrisy. Like, so collectively,
we need this.
Like this, because Sag
That's
energy
literally what I was
is
just
the
talking
truth
about.
tellers, right? So like the feeling of truth tellers having that Black Moon Lilith raw edge of like, I'm no longer polite. Like I'm gonna say it, and I don't give a shit how you feel about it. It needs to be said. Let's stop fucking like pretending. Refusing to apologize and just speaking the truth.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, Lilith is, when I was feeling into Lilith
and teaching the truth.
It feels like she was saying like truths are not universal laws, because again, what is this society doing in the government?
Wow.
They're trying to make these things feel as if we can't trust our own intuition and combat against them. Like, what do you mean I'm in the files? What? My name's in here 3,000 times, but I'm innocent. Like, what? Well,
like even worse than that, they, I forgot what website it was. It was a government website that I was reading about. Sorry, I'm not a details person in human design. They literally changed Harriet Tubman's history on this government website to say that she was basically doing the opposite of what she was doing. They said that she kidnapped Black people from their homes and took them to the north. It literally says that on a government website right now.
This is why we need
that she's like an enemy of the state.
The truth tellers. Oh, that is heartbreaking.
And this is why Black Moon Lilith is coming in Sagittarius. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? You're trying to revisionist history everything to make it. This is exactly what the Nazi Party did. Yeah, revisionist what all fact like. In Korea, right? Same thing. Like, their fucking dictator is like, I am the best person in the world. Yeah. I am the strongest man in the world. I am the most important. And it's like nobody believes that that's true, but it's revisionist history.
Yeah. There's also a square to Eros and Gemini. So this square is interesting because this awakens the Gemini themes around curiosity, desire, language. So what's erupting here is the uncensored questions, the conversations that destabilize identities, and it is a desire to name these things that are unspeakable because we're having the conversations. And with the Virgo eclipse, it's like we are then releasing these things out into the world because Eros wants the deeper dialogue. Eros wants the deeper truth. Even if it's messy, even if it's raw, even if it's hard to hear, because we're hearing a lot of things that are really hard to hear right now. But it is meant to be released. But we can't have love without truth. And exactly, it needs to come to light. It can't stay hidden, and this is the time where it's coming to light.
In college, I learned, because I studied art history in college, and there was this art critic that was like, art is truth and truth is love. Like, they're all the same, like, frequency. Like, we can't love each other. We can't experience love and happiness and pleasure through fake shit. It doesn't work. Like, people say, like, love purifies all. It's kind of like, that's the vibe, you know? It's like, it's the truth. And, like, we can't be Delulu anymore about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what the Mercury retrograde in Pisces is asking us through the deeper reflection of our intuition. Like, no more of those illusions and delusions.
Yeah, we need to get rid of them.
Yeah, just because they're saying they're this way and that they're innocent, what's the fucking truth?
Yeah, and I think, like, the other layer of context of this is, like, the decline of critical thinking and the internet. I really am pissed at the internet, y'all. This is where I've landed so far. How the internet, like, and social media deteriorates, and media as well deteriorates our ability to do critical thinking, to do deep dive research. We just, you know, when I was a kid growing up with the internet, it's like, don't accept everything you see on the internet as truth. Don't accept it as truth. But yet people are just doing that because they're so tired. They're like, oh, well, on Fox News, they said this. And it's like, but did you, like, fact check them? Or do you just believe you're just, like, la-di-da, giving all the power to a news source just because traditionally news was supposed to be just the raw, honest truth, neutral, no bias. And so you're just saying, like, well, I choose to believe that one because that's easier and simpler. And so I just want the news to be true and unbiased. And so whatever these people are telling me, I'm going to accept it as such. Instead of, I should probably fact check myself and fact check them and see what other people, like, you know, what they say, that every story has three sides: their side, the other person's side, and the truth, right? Like, if I'm hearing this, then maybe I need to go and look at another opposing viewpoint so then I can see both and then I can make my decision, right? That's what debate is like, you argue this, you argue that, and then we see which argument feels better and we choose that one. So I feel like a lot of people just were used to quickly moving through things. Videos are like 30 seconds, shows are like 12 minutes with like 15 minutes of commercials. Like, we're not practiced in doing our research and taking time to develop strategy and understanding as much anymore. Like, there's a whole thing around the attack on libraries and books and traditional learning and how children are not being able to develop these skills. And I feel like people are just so exhausted that they're just willing to accept these things. You know, but it's like, we gotta do our research here, bro. Like, is this real?
Oh, yeah, this is exactly why this eclipse, it is, again, a purification portal, and purification essentially is alchemy. And Mercury, the ruler of Virgo, is the magician, is the alchemist, and this is not meant to be an easy or even fun process.
No.
Like, think about how Virgo is, like, cleaning and organizing. Like, even, like, if we think about that on a physical level, like...
It's not easy or fun, but at the end, it feels great.
That's exactly
A
it.
clean
And
house
that's why
is
they call
amazing.
alchemy the great work.
Yeah. It might
Like,
not be fun, might not be easy, might not be linear, but when you're done, that's going to feel real good.
yeah.
Because you know without a shadow of a doubt what your truth is, what you believe in. Your house is so fucking clean that you're like, oh, I can relax. I can think straight.
And you trust your intuition so you can call it the bullshit.
Yeah.
These lies.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I think that's what a lot of people are unwilling to do. They're like, I don't want to go through this hard process and like get to the other side. Can you just do it for me? Can it be done? That's also, here I am putting my conspiracy theories cap on. That's also what our freaking world and our government created, right? Amazon can get you this by the end of the day. So why do you have to wait for good things to happen? Why do you need to put in effort for long-term things when you can have it right now? Click, I have it right now. It's immediately mine. Instant manifestation. But there's pitfalls to that.
Yeah. So let's talk about each of the rising signs now for this eclipse. Let's just rock and roll through these. So Aries rising. This Virgo eclipse is releasing over-functioning as a part of one's identity. So being the strong one by default, even though your rising sign is the sign of the warrior. And this is because this eclipse is falling in your 6th house, the house of labor, health, and daily devotion. So you are shedding a version of yourself that equates worth with productivity or crisis management. So let your body, trusting your body, lead before your will.
I'm seeing like stretching and like massaging like the temples of your head, because like Aries is the head, and like that's the house of Virgo, so it's like we just need to like relax our body a little more.
Yes, resting, tending to your nervous system, the way that maybe you tend to everyone else's needs, tend to yourself. Really Aries energy because of that strong warrior frequency. I was meditating with the quality of the healing process, because again, this lunation is happening in your 6th house, the house of healing. Healing beginning when you stop proving like what you can endure. It's just be with yourself.
Yeah,
be
maybe
with what your body needs.
Like, can I develop a new routine that helps me give my body what it needs, but not with the belief that I'm weak?
Yes.
Right? That it's like, I just need to do this because, like, my bar is reaching empty and I just need to make sure my bar is at maximum the whole time. It doesn't mean that I'm weak and I can't sustain it. Like, just because I could do this thing at 20% energy level, battery level, doesn't mean I have to.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't I set myself up for success by, like, recharging my bar full and then doing the thing?
Yes. Taurus rising. This Virgo eclipse is releasing the pressure to make your joy useful or productive, as this eclipse is happening in your 5th house. You're releasing perfectionism around creativity, pleasure, romance, and self-expression. So it really is bringing this feeling of creating without an outcome, loving like without the pressure, letting delight just be enough, letting that feeling of pleasure be enough. You don't need to justify beauty, your beauty and your joy, because it is already sacred, and let yourself enjoy.
Yeah. I feel like these people who have Virgo 5th house, they can have a tendency of like convincing themselves that like they want to do something because they think like people around them want it, or because they'll get like money from it, or you know, things like that. And it's like, you don't need to always be in service to others when you're creating and when you're thinking about your desires. Like, inherently, if you have Virgo 5th house, your desires do want to be in service in some way to the world. So just like let yourself kind of guide that process, and don't like get stuck in like, well, it's not working and so I need to do this and I need to make it this way, and like somebody asked me to do this, or you know, the world needs this right now, or blah. Like, try and give yourself a moment of freedom, like to just create, Make an intentionally bad piece of art. You know, like do a desire that has no productive outcome.
Yeah. Scorpio risings, this is also going to be for you when we get to the Pisces new moon. Just throwing that out there. Gemini rising. You are releasing ancestral responsibility and emotional over responsibility as this eclipse is falling in your 4th house. So dissolving inherited roles.
This is the hyper independent.
Yep, around being the mediator,
My sister's a Gemini rising.
Or emotional translator within family systems.
That's awesome.
So you are allowed to step out of those old family scripts and let the home within you soften. So the feeling of like safety no longer requiring that hypervigilance.
Yeah.
Hyper observation. Release that, let that go, Gemini rising.
I've been releasing the hypervigilance because I have that from my upbringing, and I've noticed like the initial like subconscious feeling or response to this is like, oh my god, I'm not picking up on every little thing. Some of these parts of the conversation or things in my environment are slipping through my fingers, and I'm not like so on the ball. And I feel like that's maybe how it will feel as you like detox and unlearn this, is like, oh, I didn't pick up on the fact that like this thing was messy, or like I didn't pick up on the fact that like they were upset about this, and like, oh my god, there's something wrong with me, I should have known that. And it's like, actually normal people don't do that. Yeah. Like people who don't have the burden of hypervigilance and hyperproductivity and hyperindependence like don't actually like they just like do them, and that's it. And then when they like see the mess, then they clean it up. They're not like seeing every single mess, all of them, like 100% 360 eagle view all the time. So it's like, remind yourself that like you don't have to do that. You don't have to live your life that way.
Yes. Cancer rising, you too are releasing that hypervigilance, but this is going to be in your mental energy, the communication, as this eclipse is activating your 3rd house. So releasing any need to over-explain, anticipate reactions, or to be palpable, to be understood. Yes. So this is a portal of deeper feeling and the ability to express those deeper truths. So, and I also was thinking too about communication being both how you are sharing and expressing, but it's also how you are intaking information and the silence piece, and allowing silence to be a sanctuary. So trusting that what needs to be said and the timing of when it needs to be said will rise within you naturally. So it's a beautiful portal of release within the realms of communication, expression.
Yeah. So challenge yourself maybe with a person, a conversation, a situation, like 10 minutes or something, to like just communicate like however you feel without over explaining. Like, I know like because of the environment I grew up in, like I would have the thought and then be like, ooh, and I would like pre-edit myself, and then it'd be like, okay, so I'm not gonna say anything, and it's like, if you're doing this on behalf of someone else, think of it as a seesaw. If you don't say your thing that you need to get out and release, then you're holding it. You're choosing to hold it, right? So you're like, oh, I can suffer on behalf of this person's feelings because I don't want to make this person's feelings upset. Yeah. And I don't want to ruin whatever. I don't have to incur the wrath or whatever reason is that you're not saying. And you're,
oh my god, yeah. And Cancer risings are so sensitive.
Yeah, they don't want to be in trouble. They don't want to, be punished. But it's like, if I'm not getting this out, then I'm holding it in, and it has to go somewhere. It doesn't just go away. So then I'm now choosing to process this other person's shit for them, or like I'm now putting my feelings on pause for somebody else. And also like how you're talking to yourself too. Are you doing that to yourself?
And sibling stuff might come up for Cancer rising too. So the release of any sibling quarrels,
or even car stuff, right? Because we have Mercury retrograde here, so like miscommunication. I meant to say this. Oh, well, you told me that. Yeah. No, I didn't. Like we might have that. We might have that.
Leo rising. So this is releasing survival-based self-worth and scarcity narratives as this eclipse is falling in your second house. So this eclipse is asking you to release any beliefs that stability must be earned through constant proving.
Mm-hmm.
This eclipse is asking you to just let yourself receive just as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Receiving doesn't require the feeling of the Leo performance, but it does require that you remain rooted in your radiance. So safety can come from support and not just that hyper self-reliance, self-independence. So you are worthy, Leo rising, even when you are not producing, and that's what this eclipse is bringing up for you.
And also because second house is morals and values. So what we were talking about, where are the things that you may have convinced yourself that are true and they're not? Maybe you convinced yourself that you need to be hyper independent, or you like you're weak if you do this, or like you're a failure if you do this, or whatever. And so it's like about releasing that so that you can just like you were saying, like, I don't need to be productive. I don't need to do all these things all the time in order to feel valued, to feel worthy, right? Because the second house is values and worth around ourselves. So like maybe you're having some stuff coming around there where it's like, I need to reevaluate like how I'm seeing myself and my value. And if it's just like, I like to say like, well, I'm not the one who fucking invented this. The indigenous people are. The way that they value, the way that they see worth. If you're born, you're worthy. Period. End of sentence.
Yeah.
If your soul, your sperm and egg got to this point, you came out, you draw breath, you're worthy. Your soul is here. It's here. It's meant to be here. There's no questioning, no debate, no nothing. You can be shitty, you can be good, you're still worthy. And like the idea of worth being earned, especially if we have that second house Virgo, is colonial. Yeah. Right? Because white people came and they were like, we need to find a way to make you feel less than, a system of judgment for people to fall in line and follow standards that we're just willy-nilly fucking making up. And so they made everyone else feel bad if they didn't assimilate and fall in line and live in a certain way with a certain religion and all the things. But it's like worth is not up for debate. It's just you're here, you're worthy. That's it.
That's it. So Virgo rising, all eyes on you, Virgo rising. So this eclipse is releasing the version of self that was built to survive. Mm-hmm. So this eclipse being in your first house, conjunct the South Node, is a profound identity shedding. So shedding old roles, old self-concepts, and any old armor. So if you're feeling confused for this eclipse, just trust that you don't need to know who you are becoming yet. You just let yourself be in the unraveling in the process. Let yourself be undefined. Your body knows how to breathe without instruction. Think about that. Like, that's so beautiful. Our body is this beautiful system. It knows how to breathe without you consciously having to think, inhale, exhale. So your soul
blinks when it needs to blink.
Also knows. Your soul also knows. And eclipses are massive activations. And this one in your first house is a big deal.
Yeah.
To be gentle with yourself, Virgo rising.
The metaphor Spirit was showing was like, the caterpillar doesn't know what kind of butterfly they're going to look like on the other side. Mm-hmm. They just know that instinctually they have this call to go build a little cocoon and be in the little chrysalis until they're ready to emerge. They don't even know if their wings are going to fucking work. They just do it.
They're not criticizing themselves and the cocoon.
No, they're not like, are my wings going to fully form if I go sit this direction inside the cocoon? No, they just go and they do. They don't even know. They're like, I think I picked the best place for my cocoon. It's not 100% probability that it'll survive, but like it's all instinctual. And so you just have to surrender to like that process of like, sometimes I find in my therapy work with clients, people get really stuck because they don't know what the answer is on the other side. And while that's great to know, because that would make a perfect, simple world, that's not what this world is. all the time.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes people get stuck, especially Virgo placements, get stuck when it's like when we don't know the next piece. It can be hard to move forward. And so what can help is to realign the question. Maybe we're asking the wrong questions, right? So like I help, a lot of people, like even in psychic readings and stuff, they're like, well, what career should I have? I don't know what career to have. So how do I know how to move forward? And I'm like, well, do you know what you don't want? And then they're like, actually, yeah. Like, I don't want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I hate this. I don't want to have to deal with this again. And I'm like, well, that just knocked out a lot off of your list for what kind of job you would have. And that helps you narrow it down, right? So like how you're saying, like, you know what you need to release, you know what you don't want to carry anymore. So just start with that. I know I don't want this. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to like have this as my reality. So I'm going to address that piece and try and get rid of it. And just by inherently doing that, the answers will come. The understanding, the clarity that you wanted before you released will happen. You'll eventually get to that point. But you know that, like, if I don't want this and I take action to get rid of it, then I know that everything I do is going to make me happier or better, So.
And that's really what the shedding process is all about, Virgo rising.
You don't have to have it all. That's the secret. You don't have to know what's on the other side. You just have to say, I'm hearing this. I'm feeling this. I have to honor it. Yeah. That's it. It's that simple.
Yes. Okay. Libra rising. Libra rising, this Virgo eclipse, you are releasing any lingering unconscious guilt or self-denial as this eclipse is in your 12th house, clearing karmic residue, any past life service vows, and invisible burdens. So this eclipse invites you into solitude, rest,
meditation,
sleep, dreaming. Yes. You are not meant to carry what was never yours to begin with. So this eclipse is inviting you into that portal of understanding what is yours through the solitude so that you can be aware of it and shed it. Let it go. Release it.
I agree. That spirit was showing that it's like, that when you're saying the not carrying piece, what's not yours, that's a big piece of this, I feel, for the Libra rising. Spirit was like, if you sit in the meditation and you like focus in on this wound or this pattern or this thing, and you realize it doesn't come from me, it came from a family member, it came from my past life, I don't know where this it doesn't have a root in my current life, in my lived experience, then it's okay for me to release that. Because I feel like sometimes as humans, we're like, if I get this, then I must be responsible for this. And it's like, maybe you're not. Maybe that's not yours. Maybe you don't need to keep entertaining that and to keep bringing it with you every step of the way,
Especially for Libra rising, because the soul can be other focused, relationship oriented.
Oh, I can take on so-and-so's burdens and feelings, because that way everybody's happy and I can suffer and I know I'm strong enough to suffer and nobody's upset. That's Libra wants harmony, but it's like it's okay to also be like, I don't want this in my dynamic, but I also can't take care of this either.
Yes.
Here, I release it. Release what's not in your control.
Yep. Let it go. Scorpio rising. Okay, Scorpio rising. This Virgo eclipse, you are releasing obligation-based friendships and community roles, as this eclipse is in your 11th house. So you are releasing dynamics where you felt responsible for holding groups together or carrying collective weight. This eclipse is your invitation to choose resonance over loyalty. So you don't need to save the community. You only need to just belong where that reciprocity, where that resonance exists for you. Especially being Scorpio rising, because the fixed water, the water molecules merging together, that is what your soul is desiring, that emotional merging. So shared intimacy.
I feel like Scorpio risings will get a lot of like intuitive knowings, and then they think maybe they need to act on them. And it's like, maybe you just have that gift of the intuitive knowing to know how, and then like just take that in and decide how you want to like, how you're saying, like looking for the resonance and the depth. So it's like, just because I sense that there's like this issue doesn't mean I need to solve it. Then I can just decide like how I want to interact with the issue.
Yes. Sag rising. Ready for you?
No.
So this Virgo eclipse is releasing any public over-functioning. So this eclipse is illuminating your 10th house, dissolving any outdated career identities and any external expectations. So this eclipse is really an invitation to allow your calling, your soul's calling, to evolve, because success, it doesn't need to look impressive. It just needs to feel sustainable and true to the depths of your soul. So this eclipse is, a shedding process in the 10th house of recognition and career, and an invitation if you do need to change direction.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes when you're a teacher, people will be like, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you do this for me? Just because you can.
Yeah.
And I think like you can get caught up in like all of these identities or all of these questions or all of these pulls. And that's something like I've had to address a lot being a business owner, is like, oh, well, one person asked me to do this, so like, should I, And I think when you're creating and when you're thinking about your legacy or your career, you have to think about like, what do I want to bring into this world? What can I fully back and fully stand behind? And especially because if you have Virgo 10th house, like you're here to heal, to correct, to do something in the world, right? And like if you're just forcing yourself to do that in that, industry or whatever, but you're not actually feeling connected to it, it's not going to get you that impact or that growth or expansion, or you're just going to feel like you never succeeded. It's not happy if I succeeded because I just did it because people wanted me to. And I also feel like having the Virgo 10th house, there can be a lot of ideas, a lot of things that you maybe want to do, a lot of maybe sometimes, psychically we get ideas and we think like, oh my God, I need to do this. But maybe you just tapped into the idea and that's cool. You still have to decide. Everything that we teach with intuition and spirituality, or at least that I teach, is like, just because that idea pops in your mind, you still have to filter it through yourself, your own intuition, your own internal compass, your own authority in human design, and decide, does my body want to do this? Am I excited by this? Is my heart lit up by this? Is my mind curious about this? Or is it just because I feel like I should?
Yeah, 100%. Capricorn rising. So this Virgo eclipse is releasing any rigid belief systems and any inherited philosophies. As this eclipse is landing in your 9th house, it's clearing dogma, outdated truths, and narratives that maybe at one point gave a sense of meaning but feel heavy for some reason. You're shedding it. You're letting it go. It's sort of this feeling of you don't need to know everything that you believe yet, but let curiosity be in place of certainty. Like, let curiosity take over the feeling of certainty, because with beliefs, like, how do you know if it's true or not? It's just a feeling that you have, an intuition that you have in your body. So it really is an invitation to allow faith and that process of exploring the higher realms of consciousness to be spacious.
Yeah. There is someone online, again, I'm sorry, I can't remember anyone's names. And they were saying like, you don't say, I know God, I've met God, God is my friend. You say, I believe in God, I have faith in God, right? So it's like, these are things that we choose to buy stock into and to like funnel and empower energy into. It's not something we can like hold in our hand like, oh, I know God, he's my next door neighbor. It's not something like that we can literally tangibly prove. So we have to believe in it. And I feel like sometimes with Virgo energy, it can get very locked in. and be like, the blinders are on, and it's just like this one thing is like how I'm seeing it going. And then maybe like what we're saying in the eclipse is like maybe we need to like take those blinders off and zoom out and look at other multiple options and perspectives, and maybe this one thing isn't the only way, and maybe there's another, like how you talk about like the energy of Virgo is like looking at like a crystal from all these different facets and sides. It's like maybe if I turned it 25 degrees, I can see a whole different world.
Yeah, 100%. And there's a lot to explore in the ninth house because it is the house
culture,
of
religion.
Yeah.
Like
education,
higher learning, expansion.
There's a lot there. So if something isn't resonating with you and your belief system, let it go, Capricorn rising.
Yeah.
Let it go. Aquarius rising. This Virgo eclipse is releasing trauma-bonded intimacy and any outdated emotional entanglements. As this eclipse is moving through your 8th house, it's dissolving karmic ties that are rooted in those survival patterns rather than a mutual benefit. So you are not required to stay bonded to pain. Like this eclipse is like, no, let it go. It's an invitation to allow intimacy to be gentle and allow that feeling of the building of the trust with the 8th house energy to be slow and rooted in reality. What is real? What feels truth? Because it's a transformative eclipse for you. Like there's no denying that for you, Aquarius rising. Yeah,
I feel like you could maybe learn from like talking to people with Scorpio placements. Like how you're saying like real true connection doesn't need to be pain. It doesn't need to be like this, like that feels like the most intense, so therefore people think it's the strongest, right? It's like I have to keep being in this suffering intensity, otherwise it's not real.
And that's a trauma bond.
And that's like sort of Scorpio loves like deep connection with people and can sometimes like go to the like extreme depths. Like I have people in my life who have Scorpio placements, and like my one friend, she literally was like, look, I know that the relationship is not good for me, but I need to see it out to the bitter end. I need to try every single thing that I can in my power so that I can leave the situation having no regrets, knowing I lived it full and well. And I feel like sometimes like with Scorpio placements, they have that mentality. And probably
they're willing to let it die.
Yeah. And like these people can maybe help you in realizing like that connection might feel like we're close and we have closeness, but it might not be the healthiest or actually the realest connection, right? Because if we have a trauma bond, that's the only point of connection that we have.
And the truth is, Aquarius rising, you just had an eclipse in your 1st house. You just had this
and you
whole
have Pluto here.
Shedding. Exactly. You're in a transformation portal.
Yeah. Period. It's just going to be like extra intense for you, this lunation. So like give yourself a break. Like maybe what are different ways, different types of relationship bonds that you can like explore through media, through stories, through family, like what are different other ways. And I think something that I've had to reconcile, because I have an 8th house sun and Scorpio North Node, I feel like if relationships are not super depth in that trauma bonded way, I had this belief that like then they're not real and they're not meaningful. And then I had to realize like, oh, I think normal people just don't have this level of depth maybe in their relationships, and it's okay. What if that's okay? Like, can I be okay being in this other energy that doesn't feel as deep? And like as I spend more time in it, maybe it feels better, you know? Like maybe there's something I can learn from this dynamic.
100%. All right, Pisces rising. Hello, fellow Pisces risings. This eclipse is releasing projection and any savior dynamics in relationships, as this eclipse is activating our 7th house. So it's helping us release partnerships where Maybe we've carried emotional, spiritual, or logistic weight. So this eclipse for us is an invitation to let relationships meet us where we are at, not where we rescue and try to save. So this is allowing mutual benefit to be our devotion.
Yeah. It's like you don't have to run into the fire is kind of what Spirit is saying.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to be the one to solve it, to fix it. Like, you don't, just because someone is putting you in this dynamic, in this archetype, doesn't mean you have to accept it. Someone can be like, oh, well, but you're the one that always solves my problems for me, so why don't you solve my problems now?
Yeah.
You can be like, well, I just don't have the capacity to solve your problems right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I can't take up that role. I can't be that person all the time for you.
And
I can't be perfect in how I show up for you. It's okay to feel like you're letting someone down is what it's going to feel like, you know, that people-pleasing piece.
Because Pisces has no boundaries. Pisces is oceanic consciousness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So being a Pisces rising, it is a difficult thing to set those boundaries.
I also feel like on the flip side, Pisces risings can be the one that's like, well, I can see this and I'm going to nitpick and point out all the pieces of what's wrong. It's like, maybe your friend doesn't need that. Yeah. Maybe your friend doesn't want that right now. Like, you don't have to solve all their problems. Like, Virgo is a problem solver. So, like, you don't always have to be the problem solver in relationships.
Yes.
You can just, like, listen. Yeah. And just hold space for someone. You can be, someone can hold space for you.
That's a really big thing that I've had to learn in relationship dynamics, being a Pisces rising, because I do have that 7th house Virgo, is I do have a tendency to like want to solve and like want to, and especially being like a Sag moon, I feel like this is such a Sag moon thing to like want to teach and like find the solution. And
sometimes people don't fucking want that.
No, Josh has had to tell me, like, all I want from you is just to sit and listen. Yep. You don't have to, like, because I am someone, like, ideas come to me quickly, and I'm a really good person to brainstorm with, and it's like, boom, 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 I got it. Like, here's the idea. Like, let's go, let's implement. And, like, that is definitely a beautiful skill set I know that I have embodied in, but it's not always what's needed in a relationship dynamic.
Like, it serves you in your career because people literally come to you and pay you money and they're like, please, I need your advice and help.
Which I'm really good at with that Virgo 7th house. And I make it practical. Like, I leave, people leave my office with action steps. I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, action steps, let's make it practical. Yeah.
But like, sometimes that's not the answer. You can still be important in your relationship and feel valuable or productive by breaking that cycle and doing it differently. Like, it's okay to just give a hug or to just listen or to vent with the person, you know? Like,
or give space too, because I've had to learn with Josh, like, I love to be held in touch, but for him with ADHD, that can be overstimulating. So I've had to learn.
Frankie's like upset, and I have to be like, "It's not you. I'm just overstimulated."
Exactly.
Like, just don't. You touch me the wrong way, and now my whole skin is on fire. Like,
exactly.
So like maybe try like putting on those different like caps and hats and like, what would it be like if I did it this way in my relationship, if I showed up this way in my relationship?
Exactly. So it feels really good to me. I feel like it is going to be definitely something that all of the mutable rising signs feel probably a little bit more intensely this eclipse. But yeah, feels good. And eclipse season, again, it really is all about.
I love how we just talked about all this stuff and you're like, it feels good.
It does. That's the purification portal.
You're always so positive though. Like, I feel like you're like, I love healing. I love purification.
I love all the hard work.
I love healing. Like changing my identity completely.
Jupiter, my ruling planet's in the 8th house.
Like,
I love it.
Not if you listening are like, the fuck is this person on crack? Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, that's just her. It's not fun. It sucks. That's okay if that's where you're starting from.
Yeah. But like you said, it feels so good afterwards.
Think about when you have a real clean home. Keep that visual.
Yeah.
If I take this time to put in the effort, I like to think of it as like current me is setting up future me for success. While it might suck to do it now, tomorrow when I wake up and I have my lunch packed and made, I'm going to be really happy.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised though if like there were Pisces risings that got like divorced or like broken up for this eclipse though.
Ooh.
Like,
some big relationship shift.
Yeah. That could happen. Okay. Let's move on from this eclipse. We've been talking about it for a while and we said a lot. So if you want to share with us any thoughts that you have about this eclipse, anything that we shared that sparked something in you, anything about your rising sign reading, we would love to hear any questions that you have. Send them on in. We love that you're sitting in the circle with us. Okay, let's move into Venus and Aries. My Venus return. Hello, Venus in detriment. Okay, March 6th until March 29th. So pretty much all of March, we'll have Venus in Aries. Mm-hmm. Which is really the spark of desires. So Venus, again, like I said, is in detriment in the sign of Aries because she rules over both Taurus and Libra, and Aries is opposite to Libra. But I find it really interesting that Venus does rule over the third decan of Aries. And in the tarot, this corresponds to the Four of Wands, where we see a divine union happening. But I love to think about that as like the love of one's individuality, because you're getting into a relationship where you're in a love dynamic because you love that other person. You love their individuality. So it's not getting into relationship and losing yourself. It's only amplifying the truth of who you are and that other person loving who you are. So
I see it as like when you love someone and you want to have kids with them. You're like, I love all that you are, and I want to like take that and like mix it with all that I am and make some other human.
Yeah. Exactly. But you're not losing yourself in the process of that. Like, I just think it's so interesting when we study the decans and we get into those little nuances. So, yeah, Venus in Aries is fiery.
From what date to what date again?
March 6th until March 29th.
Okay, so like the whole month. Yeah, we're going to be in that. That's kind of fun.
It brings themes around like
sex.
Bold desires. I know, I think we've talked about this where it's like kind of like the Dom energy.
Yeah, but they say that Aries energy is brat. So it's like switch or brat energy. Because like Aries
I definitely
comes
feel
off
like
as like,
switch,
yeah, because Aries comes off strong, but like also has this like, I want to be babied kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that's why it can be like switch or like brat energy.
Yes. But also like very sexy. Like Venus and Aries is like the combat boots, the red lipstick.
I have actually a lot of Aries Venus people, and they be dressing like that.
You know,
studs, leather.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You see me in my emo gear, like
yeah. Red color. They love red or pink because pink is red with white.
Yep.
Yeah, and also like Mars ruled. Like signs tend to be like hypersexualized, so it's where you're like it's real sexy. Yeah, like Aries energy is bold, so you're like a bold lover. Yeah.
Yep. We go after what we want, basically. Venus
Directness.
And Aries people.
Aries, if you have Aries Mars, Aries Venus, you want a partner that is direct. Don't skip around the room, string me along. If you like me, tell me.
No, we like to be teased. Tease me. We want the feeling of like
okay, but you're talking about like in sex. I'm talking about in courtship. Like I don't like Aries is like I want you to be transparent, and if you have an issue, let me know. If you're not into it, let me know. They're not like they don't want to be strung along. Direct, yeah. You want someone who's like I'm here for you. I want you. I make it known that I want you.
Yeah.
But in sex, like once I know that you want me, then we can play games.
Yeah.
Then we can have like that flirty banter where it's like, oh, are you sure? You know, like that. Yeah,
because it is like the love of like
the chase,
the hunt, and the conquer, and that like war.
That's why they can be like switch energy, because it's like sometimes you want to be chased, you want to be the prey.
Yes. Oh yeah, love that shit. Okay, so Venus and Aries.
So what does this mean collectively? Not for people who have it in their natal chart, like how we're talking about.
Yeah, courage and love. It's like a time of independence, like bold passion. It's valuing the self. So I love how Venus in Aries, it is the love of self, and it really does represent what that means to be embodied in self-love and not as an act of selfishness. And
yeah, it's like I need to do me. I need to fulfill my needs. And it's not selfish. It's important.
Being an Aries Venus, I feel like this is such a topic that
I think you
so
really
essential.
Embody that because you're like, I need my time in the morning to meditate, to eat my breakfast, to do my stretches. If I don't have that, I can't show up to the fullest of my abilities. And I think that's 100%. Sort of like Aries energy is like, I need to get this going. Otherwise, I can't get everything else going.
Exactly. Well, I have clients ask me, like, how do you hold all this space? And, like, this is emotional work. And it's exactly what you just said. It's because I care about that time and I set it for myself. And I don't care if it's perceived as selfish. Like, it is what I need. And it's, but then it's like, ultimately, Venus and Aries, we take what we love and then we help other people with it. Like, I love astrology so much. I'm like obsessed with this. I spend time researching this for hours so then I can help all of you listening and sitting in the circle and learning with me. So yeah, it is like, do what you love. It's pioneering energy, especially pioneering in the realms of creativity and passion. So collectively, this could bring through new relationship models, because again, Venus is detriment in Aries. Relationship models that are about what you need, like the self energy, public discussions around autonomy, bolder expressions of femininity, and new waves of aesthetic innovation.
I also see yelling, frustration, when things aren't like, things are okay. So Aries Venus, Aries energy is okay with nitty gritty, raw, dirty things.
Yes.
And I feel like that also can come through where it's like, I'm okay looking at the rawness of this, the realness of this. Like, I find beauty in this dirtiness, in this messiness. Yeah, and I like sometimes Aries Venus people are like, you picked the wrong bitch to play with today. You know, like my Pilates instructor has Aries. She's like, I will not be this person. Yeah. So I feel like warrioress. Yeah, it's like, I will, if I love it, I'm in. But if you're not, then it's done, right? Yeah. There's this boundary here. So I feel like we're gonna maybe have that kind of energy collectively as well. Like, if I love it, I love it. If I don't, I have something to say. You know, I'm gonna voice my opinion. I'm gonna like allow my frustrations to be felt, right?
Yeah, and Venus and Aries is not shy about sharing that.
No.
So, yeah, I was writing how Venus and Aries, even though, again, she's in detriment, she is this priestess of fire, holding that fire. She, again, is lighting this pathway for deeper layers of self-love because you trust yourself. And you're bold. You're willing to go first. You're a pioneer. You're willing to trailblaze. There's a love of that with Venus and Aries.
Yeah, we might be doing new things that we've never done during this time.
That's why I was thinking about the new relationship models.
Yeah. Be bold enough to say what you haven't been saying, that you've been holding in.
Oh, yes. It's my Venus return. So hopefully I'll have a girlfriend universe. Venus and Aries.
That's quick. That's coming up quick.
I know it's coming up
I'm
quick.
Like, you want a girlfriend in like less than a month. That's a lot.
Universe, I've been waiting years. Hello. And that eclipse happening in my 7th house, the shedding.
True.
A restructuring.
Perhaps. Let's see. We'll tell you in the April one.
Oh my god,
if Thailand has gotten a girlfriend.
In my birthday month. Oh my god, April's gonna be wild. Just wait for that episode.
Every month.
Okay. I know, we're like, there's so much to talk about. Sit in the circle with us. Okay, March 10th through May 12th, Vesta is going to be in Pisces.
Yeah, so Vesta is the deity of the home, the hearth,
the high priestess, the key of wholeness.
So this is more of like a collective piece as well. You all have Vesta in your chart somewhere.
Yes.
So yeah, this transit, you said she's going to be in what?
She's going to be in Pisces.
Okay. So wherever you have Pisces is where you'll feel this needing to like tend to cultivate. Yeah. She rules over like this devotional energy. That's that high priestess frequency, right? Like think of how a high priestess, literally that's their life, their job is all wrapped in one, and they live in service, in devotion to some deity, some service. Yes. So
holding the sacred container. And I think we've talked about Vesta before, and how in her ancient times the Vestal priestesses would practice sex magic. And so in her mythology now, archetypally in our chart, she can represent that energy of what it means to be fully in one's sexual power versus like in sexual denial or repression because of the patriarchy and what the patriarchy did to the word virgin, right? Which is Vesta, meaning like, oh, purity, but really in ancient times it meant wholeness. And that's why she holds that key of wholeness. So in Pisces, this is the wholeness of the devotion to spirituality, to oneness, to merging with what is beyond just this physical reality.
Devotion to your dream, devotion to your art, devotion to your inner creator, whatever that looks like to you.
Yes.
Especially
divinity.
in whatever house you have Pisces in. So like, let's say mine, 4th house, home. That's like home. Like Vesta's home. So it's like, I'll probably be like sprucing up my home during this time, making it more what my dream was, what my vision was, being more creative with it, you know, type of thing. Spending more time like doing arts and crafts or things in my home.
Artistic energy is so beautiful with Pisces. And spiritual sex. We've talked about sex with ghosts on this podcast. But I mean, sex magic, like this is a beautiful time with Vesta and Pisces. It's sweet. It's also devotion without like the egoic consciousness that Aries has, right? Because it is the sign of oneness. So it's devotion to the unity again. Mysticism.
Maybe having dream stuff about this as well.
Yeah. And healing. Okay, March 15th through May 27th, we have Ceres, the mother goddess, in her home sign of Taurus. I love this transit. It's going to be such a vibe. The feeling I was getting with it is like, oh, it's the Earth Mother. She is coming home. She is awakening. As Ceres, Demeter is the representation of nourishment. She is the frequency around grief and how we handle grief, fertility, and these cycles of loss and renewal. So,
and like the seasons, like the harvest, right?
Yes.
So like harvesting and metalworking too.
Yes. So the reason why she represents the seasonal energy and the loss is her story with Persephone, which
she's the mother of Persephone.
We've also talked about on this podcast. I have a lot of thoughts about that story and Persephone and like why the fuck isn't it told from Persephone's perception? It's never told from her. Okay, we're gonna move on.
So the Taurus energy here I feel like it's like Taurus is already very real and material, very earthly, and so is Ceres, right? Like very real, very earthly. Like she literally rolls over like metals and like grains and shit like that. So I feel like there's maybe going to be some kind of, I don't know, I see that there's something blooming out of that, like some kind of change or shift around food sources or distribution of food sources. So I don't know, metal kept coming up a lot for me, so I wonder if there'll be like some advancement or something that comes out like regarding metal. Like I'm not saying like metal in general, like gold or something, but like I'm thinking how they're like always talking about like this new like space exploration thing, or this new like military equipment thing. It feels like something more like that. Like we have a lot of like bombs and things going on in the world, like that kind of stuff.
Taurus is building.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, it feels like
world.
something will be released or announced during this time in regards to that. I know we've been having those like fucking the peace council for Gaza, and Israel was announced. They announced that their plan to like section off portions of land of Palestine, so it could be something around that. I don't know, it feels very like government level to me, but they're not being very clear about that. And we know that there's like a new virus kind of going around in Pakistan.
Maybe you're also feeling into the Uranus at the last like degrees of Taurus too.
True, because that's also kind of coinciding together during this time.
With the innovation piece in the building.
Yeah, like it feels like something like that. I also feel it's like land back, right? The land back movement. Like, that gives me chills when I say that. Like, we need to be moving towards stewardship of the earth. Yes. Not just over harvesting of the earth. I don't know. I think some maybe there'll be like a recall or some kind of, like, I keep hearing pestilence, so it's like something wrong with food or something like that.
Yeah, because Taurus is all about the land, food, money, nature, embodiment, sensuality, and like our physical health.
And people have been like, other astrologers have been predicting like the end of the Taurus Uranus is like going to be shift in money systems, like the cryptocurrency failing, because we're learning that it was all created by people in the Epstein files. So it could be around that as well, like returning that kind of wealth and resource back. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. I could totally see that, because Ceres wants to provide the nourishment and take care of us, so as the mother goddess. So yeah, this transit can also bring up themes around the reconnection with our body, with our sensuality,
our home, our like vessel,
healing nature, redefining what nourishment even is for us, right? Because it looks different for every single one of us. Stabilizing resources and the return to slow sacred rhythms. Taurus embodies that with the bull, this slowness. So historically, Ceres and Taurus aligns with movements with regenerative agriculture, food, justice themes that are coming up, environmental healing themes, and a renewed interest in earth-based spirituality, earth-based practices. So the stewardship of the land, definitely. And Ceres, is Persephone's mother. And after February's underworld depths, March begins this return to the spring equinox. Hello, So,
all right, we should stop here.
Cool.
Okay, so we are going to do part 2. You will catch that next week. For the last half of March.
We got a lot to say about this new moon in Pisces.
Yeah, so stay tuned and we will catch you on the flippity flip. Thank you for listening to the Celestial Circle podcast. We are eternally grateful to have you in our cosmic community.
Make sure you subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen.
That way you'll be updated whenever new episodes drop.
Please leave us a review and share with your friends so that our circle grows.
The circle is now closed.
Bye!